If you're wanting to upgrade the output and look of the base bumper mounted fog lights in your 21 and newer Bronco at home, then these LED replacements from Diode Dynamics would certainly be worth checking out. Now, this particular option will feature the yellow lenses and a combined total of over 1,300 lumens, all for right around that $250 price point, and will also get backed by an 8-year warranty. Now, install, at least according to the site here, gang, is going to get a strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. Take about an hour to complete from start to finish, but if you hang with me for a bit, we'll walk you through that job later in the video. So right out of the gate, I do want to reiterate the fact that these fog lights from Diode Dynamics will only apply to the 6th gen Bronco owners out there who have that plastic factory base bumper installed and not the modular steel bumper. If you have that steel bumper, these will not work. Now, if you do have that plastic base bumper, then these fog lights from Diode Dynamics will be a direct replacement for the stockers, as you guys can see from some of our shots. Now, the Type AS LED fog light kit here does feature the SS3 Sport LED pod, the 3 indicating the 3-inch size, and the Sport designation being the company's entry-level option in regards to total power or output. Now, from here, Diode Dynamics does offer the Pro and the Max, both of which will be a nice step up in regards to overall power and intensity. But with that being said, the Sport series that we have here, I think still more than enough lighting firepower for most 6th gen owners out there, especially when we're talking about a dedicated fog light. But because these are designed for fog light use, Diode went ahead and utilized their 80-degree spread pattern with these particular SS3s, and that's going to offer a very wide field of view, and that's something I dig because that's kind of what you're looking for with a fog light application. Now, the Diode fogs do also incorporate what they like to call their TIR optics, or total internal reflection. Basically, this is going to help the lights be more efficient overall while producing more output over a traditional reflector style housing. Now, the SS3s have been given that IP67 waterproof rating, pretty standard in the industry, and that's pretty much in place to help prevent any water, moisture, condensation, whatever, from entering the housings themselves. Now, this specific set of fogs does feature the yellow lenses here, as you guys can see, and that's going to help produce a 3000K color temperature. Therefore, a great option, of course, for bad weather, obviously those foggy days, or maybe even as a running light out on the trails. I know a lot of guys prefer using yellow to maybe a bright white. Now, we do also feature this same exact kit from Diode, speaking of bright white, that does feature white lenses instead, and that's going to offer more lumens, more firepower for better nighttime visibility. Also worth mentioning the fact, guys, here that these lenses can be swapped or replaced. So if you do end up going with the white or the yellow kit initially, you wanted to switch things up down the line, you could, or maybe a crack a lens off-road or on-road, you can totally swap these out thanks to the hardware on the back. But maybe one of my favorite parts about this kit from Diode will be the fact that they include the brackets here that allow these fogs to be bolted up to your factory plastic base bumper without modification. And they also kick in these plug and play harnesses here, or adapters, meaning you're in for a very easy day in the driveway or garage. But speaking of that, we want to give you a better idea of just how things will go down on your 6th gen at home. So without further ado, check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown right now.
Tools for this install: a 10mm socket, a small extension, and an electric ratchet or ratchet. Hey guys, this is going to be a very simple install. I'm going to show you how to get your stock fog lights out of your standard bumper on your 21 and newer Bronco, and then we could get our aftermarket fog lights in. Now, we removed our wheel and tire so you can get a better view of what's going to need to be done. You do not have to do this at home. Again, we just did this so you can get a better view. We're going to start by disconnecting our harness from the back of our fog light. And with a ratchet and a 10mm socket, we're going to remove the 4 bolts located around the stock fog light. Once those 4 bolts are removed, you can then remove your fog light. Hey guys, now before we get into the install of our aftermarket fog lights, I would recommend picking up a longer bolt. As these fog lights are aftermarket, they are going to need a longer bolt to bolt into your standard bumper on your Bronco. Pick up an M6 1" by 40 millimeter. Now with your stock fog light removed, we can now take our aftermarket fog light as well as our aftermarket bolts and get them in place. And at this point, we could tighten them down. Now take your fog light adapter harness, plug that into the back of your fog light and into the Bronco harness. And repeat those steps on the other side. Now with your new fog lights installed, you're ready to hit the road and trails in style. But for us, that's gonna wrap it up for our review and install of the Diode Dynamics SS3 Type AS fog light in yellow, fitting your 21 and newer Bronco. For more videos just like this, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.